So it's time to do a follow-up video on the Black Panther Mythic clause. Is it good? Is it trash? Should you leave it on the floor if you see it in your games? We're going to talk about that right here. The first thing I want to say is that the Mythic claw is very fun to use, especially if you know how to use it. There's just something very satisfying about ripping your enemies to shreds. But I have to admit that you cannot bring claws to a gunfight. It's just not a smart thing to do, because once your enemies know how to shoot, you are dead. And I hate to admit it, but I die more times than I care to admit by using the Mythic claw. The Mythic claw is just not it when it comes on to a gunfight. Once your enemies have a pump like a gatekeeper or any other pump rifle in the game, you are dead if your enemy know how to shoot you, because just the movement and the combat mechanic of the Mythic claw, it gives a lot of openings for your enemies to shoot you, and that's just the downside to using it. And I also don't believe it does enough damage for it to own a space in your inventory. Outside of those things, the Mythic claw is very fun to use. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 5. Highest, I'll give it a 6, because it's not the worst and it's also just not the best. Especially now that we're in an AR meta, all the ARs are very good this season. The Mythic claw is just not it, right? If it does a little bit more damage and the fighting animation is just faster and make it harder for the enemy to shoot you, then I'll definitely give it a higher grade. Once you pick up the Mythic claw, it's very taxing on your loadout. You basically have to give up a loadout slot to use the Mythic claw, because it's not that great for damage and it's also not that great for movement. In terms of damage, there are better options. In terms of movement, there are better options as well. So the Mythic claw is just not a must pick, but it does provide another way of playing the game. It does provide some level of mobility, and it does do damage. If you know to use it effectively, it's a very nice mythic to pick up and carry in your loadout. Since we're talking about mobility, let's talk about how to do the double dash movement using the Mythic claw, the green dashes you'll find at Grim Gate, and the jetpack. So the way you do this is you want to press double space bar to dash in the air and left mouse click to dash using the Mythic claw. You repeat this over and over until you run out of stamina or dashes, but it carry you very far, and it's just a very fun mechanic. But it's underrated because you need both the Mythic claw and the jetpack in order to do it, and that can be very taxing on your inventory, especially if you want to carry heals or other utilities. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with me. Let me know what you think about the Mythic claw so far. Is it trash? Is it good? I'll see you in the next video.